Guys, I made these plantain empanadas filled with grass-fed beef and this chimichurri. They're so good. They were absolutely delicious, but I almost ruined them. You'll see at the end like what happened, but they came out really, really good. This recipe is amazing because you can put whatever you want in the middle of the empanadas. So you want plantains. I went with grass-fed ground beef for the filling, and what you're gonna wanna do is in a big pot, get 6 cups or so of water, put that on a boil right there, and you're gonna take those plantains. Make sure you use green plantains. They don't have to be as green as these, but that's just what was available, but you don't want them to be very ripe plantains. Get about 3 to 4 big plantains, chop them up, throw them in that water for about 30 minutes on boil. While those plantains are on boil, you're just gonna wanna get this giant, look at this giant cast iron pan. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, just get some ground beef going. I went with some lemon pepper there. And on a cutting board, you're gonna make your chimichurri, cut up some parsley, get some shallots or red onion, cut those up, and then you wanna add in some lime right there. You can throw in olive oil, you can throw in a little red wine vinegar, you could throw in, a bunch of things for a chimichurri. Have fun with it. I like to just prepare it on the cutting board, dash of salt, some of that olive oil, and then you just work it all in with a knife. Just chop it. I did more lemon pepper there, just chop it. Oh my God, it smells so good. Take your cooked ground beef and you're gonna put it into a bowl and just set that aside near that chimichurri, just set it aside. Rinse off and dry your cast iron pan and just leave it there because you're gonna need it in a bit. Take those plantains and you're gonna throw them into a food processor. They should be pretty soft by now, and you're just gonna toss them into that food processor. Little touch of sea salt. I sort of wish I put some like cinnamon in there at that point, but whatever, I'll try that next time. And then just, mash those, and it turns into this beautiful flour. It's a really dough-like texture, which is just great. There's a lot of things you could probably do with this. I'm gonna experiment around with this plantain flour. What I like about it is the only ingredients in here right now are plantains. That's great. Okay, here's where this recipe almost went wrong. I thought it would be cool to make these little balls of plantain flour right here and just sort of, oh yeah, so cool, the Mountain Valley Spring, just, smashing them down, which was almost a good idea. It's not that far off. And I was like, okay, I'll wrap up the beef in there. The problem is I didn't put enough water on my hands, and I let those sit for too long. Luckily I didn't make too many of them, so the recipe was saved. But as I tried to fold them, it was just dry. They're just cracking. And at this point I was like, are these just ruined? What do I do? But you know what? I looked up online. I just needed to make my hand wet and sort of make the shape in my hand so they're already like a little empanada shape in there. And yeah, that's just completely did save the recipe. I'm able to sort of pinch them over, seal it shut. Was it the prettiest thing ever? No, but they were so good at the end. Oh my God, and that's a decent looking empanada right there. Then you want to get your cast iron pan hot with coconut oil in there. And most, keyword most, of the empanadas were great. I think if I work on this recipe, I'll dial it in a bit more. But when these were cooking, they smelled so good. I could not wait to dive into them. And the result was perfect. Crispy on the outside. The grass-fed beef on the inside was just amazing. If you try these out, let me know, and let me know what you think below.